Okay, good afternoon, folks. I hope everyone is well. Tis the 20th of August. Very, very low volume overnight. I'm guessing summer trading months. Lots of traders on holiday. There's been hardly anything, actually. So it's hard to know what sort of day we're going to have today. So let's have a look. Quite a strong trending day yesterday, in fact. Leg up, two legs back. It's hard to say. Okay, market is about to open. So, 1, 2, 3, we're going to get a bounce here. I think it's certainly possible. Okay, market is open. Right, hopefully. Hey, Speedy, how you doing, my friend? Did you enjoy your birthday? Did you have a lot to drink, and have you got a sore head? Or did you behave yourself? I'm not too bad on my birthday. I used to drink. I get a bit silly on my birthdays, but not so much now. You get wise to hangovers, don't you? I'm not a fan of hangovers. I've never been one of those type who can go out drinking one night and then go out the next night. Oof, can't do it. Never been able to do it. So we bounced a few times here, so it's hard to say this. At the moment, it is looking just up, down, up and down. But there is a channel here, and this is a break, so there's always a possibility. And the reason I say that is because looking at the NQ at the moment, we do seem to be working down. So it's a tough one. You behave yourself, did you? Good on you, mate. Ionis, how are you? So let's see what sort of day we have. So we have got a bounce here, unfortunately. Just no setup there, and I don't know whether I'd want to, really. Let's just have a look at this NQ. So it does seem like there's some sort of channel up there from yesterday. In fact, let me just have a look at this. It's more two legs, really, isn't it? Tough one because you're missing all this out, but there is something, I think, but I don't know, he's a bit relevant now anyway. Okay, so channel with a break. So this could come down or it might trigger and push up. I'm a bit hesitant to do anything, really. And as you guys know, I'm sort of slowly, not much of a drinker. No, I'm not really. I like a whiskey. I'm a big single malt fan, but I don't drink massive amounts of it. I have only about a bottle every other day. No, I don't. I'd say 3 or 4 nights a week I like sitting and having a nice double by myself, feet up in front of the TV. In fact, whiskey has been known to have massive health benefits. Cancer fighting properties. It's got antioxidants in it. It's really good for you, apparently. Well, obviously, a sensible amount of it is. If you're drinking a bottle a day, perhaps it's not as good for you. But I do like a nice single malt. So, leg down with a break. Hard to say what's going on here, but because of these one bounce, this attempt, and this, I think going short probably isn't the most sensible thing at the moment, just in case we do continue up. So, there is a higher low there, but I'm staying out of this at the moment. Yeah, it's hard to know. That might work or it might come down, but it's a little bit congested. But yeah, what the hell do you do? Up or down? It's one of those things, isn't it? This is a little bit clearer. This isn't so much. Yeah, there's a channel there, but it has looked like it's pushed up. Whether this will come down or not, there is a couple of legs. Whether it will come down remains to be seen. But at the moment, this ES is looking like it's range bound at the moment. We've bounced 3 times and pushed up. So if this continues up, I think it's likely the NQ will. So we got a leg down there. 2 attempts to go higher. It's probably likely going to be a slow week, I think. So I don't know about US. Kids go back to school here in around about 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks tomorrow. So I'm assuming the US it's very similar. Kids over here get about 6 weeks off. I think from usually around about the second quarter of July to the first week. I think last video from Max was interesting. He said if you go for 4 ticks without a runner, it's very hard to be. I absolutely agree with that, mate. Yeah, I absolutely agree with it. Just going for 4 ticks, in my opinion, is incredibly difficult. You have to support that with some other type of financial input or output via way of a runner. So I think you either need to go for 2 points or 1 point and a runner. Now, we all know 2 points works. I would say probably 90% of the time you'll get 2 points. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer not to do 1 point. But Mac's been doing it that long, and it works for him, and he goes for runners. And Mac's very good at the chart reading. So I would take a guess and say Mac makes a lot more money on his runners than he does on his scalps. But I would say his scalps are kind of like his basic wage and his runners. So I absolutely 100% agree with that. His money will come from his runners. Mac's been doing it donkey's years, so he'll know. There is a second entry long there. Now I'm more moving towards going for 2 attempts to go lower. So not only that, I'm trading my funded futures on the NQ, so I need to be going for at least 5 points, which it's not really a problem. In his last video from yesterday, he said go for 1-to-1. Mac did. Go for 1-to-1 and forget runners in ranges. So do you know what? The trouble is, because I'm in the UK, usually he doesn't put his videos out till quite late. They're usually about 1 o'clock in the morning. So what I find, if I wake up, I just grab my phone and have a quick browse through. I don't necessarily listen because obviously middle of the night. But I didn't look last night for some reason. I can't remember why. So I'll have to have a look, actually. But I'm glad he said that because, you know, I've often wondered what Mac's opinion is on going for more points. He must know. He must know when he goes for a point, he sees that price go a lot further than 1 point. He must be aware of that. So we've got a chan up, we've got a break at a new high. So technically that's played out. So we've also, it is played out. 1 push-up, second push-up. Sometimes we'll have 2 pushes. Now, obviously, that's a little bit risky because it's played out, but bar's not fantastic there anyway if you wanted to go for a second entry. It's a bit congested, but I suppose you could play that as a breakout. Fell breakout there, but let's have a look. 2 legs up, bearish bar triggered. As I say, I'm moving more to penguin style now, which is the same but slightly different. Now, having said that, if I see an absolute gift horse, I'm not going to deny it. You know, if we have 2 perfect legs and an absolute perfect trade, I'll be daft not to take it. But, you know, I'm generally not going to get involved. So that's interesting, a leg and a leg. But it is a bit congested, so it could mess you around there. Let me have a look. He also put out a trade execution video Did he put that out on YouTube, Bud? Did he or not? I'll have to have a look at that later. I did not find that tray video. So put it on YouTube. I have to have a look later. That'll be some interesting reading. Okay, so if you took that one there, I'll be amazed if that doesn't stop you out. In fact, yeah, it has done. That was an accident waiting to happen. I think, one, it's congested. Two, we've already made a new high after the break. So 1, 2, so be looking for a failure here, maybe. Or that would be a second entry long, but it is congested. Leg, 2 attempts to go lower, but this thing could come down now. Two videos. That'll be an interesting read for me later. So there's a failure there, I think, but it's congested. So there's a second entry long there. You could say 1, 2, 3. You could say a triple test, but as we've already played that out, I think this is more likely to go down. But you've got to be careful there. Could trap you and push up. It could come rocketing down. Put a short video on my funded futures yesterday. Did he really? I'll have to have a look at that. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that. So this is going up for another leg, I think. So be nice to get a breakout pullback here. Let's see. 2 attempts to go lower. Not interested myself. Let's see if we do get a breakout pullback. I doubt we will now. Maybe.
Order submitted.
I might have a go at this. See how it finishes. It's also 1, 2 legs down and a push up. Is a no-go. They're scaling room. Yeah. In all honesty, if you trade that, you've got to really trade it on the NQ. If you trade it on the NQ, I think you're okay. Because it's got to be more than 5 points. Now, obviously, the NQ, that small movement there is 10. So, yeah. Have a look at this.
Order cancelled.
wonder if this is a spiking channel. It may be, actually. This thing looks like it's going up.
Order filled.
I'm going to have a go at this. I like the way it's working along there. So, 2 attempts to go lower and a push up. 1 leg down, 2 legs down. This is kind of a penguin trade. Let's have a look. It's in the right place. That's not what I expected, though.
Target filled.
Okay, that's a good start. What did I get there? $275 per watt point. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's more than 5 points this anyway. That's 55 ticks, isn't it? So there's about... fact, let me just change this over to from ticks to points. It's probably going to be a bit easier. Where's points? Why have I got pips on here? Ticks? Where? That's strange. Why does it say pips? That's currency. So I've got ticks. Where's points? How weird is that? Push up, 2 attempts to go lower. A nice sort of bounce there. I actually got in there, but it was a few ticks above there, but it was the same principle, I think. So how does this work out? What it's given me? 65. I'm losing my marbles here or what? 65, 75, 14 points, 13 and 3. Oh, somebody worked that out for me. My head's gone blank. 65, 75 and 4. That's 14. Is that 14 and a quarter points? Someone help me out here. Gone blank. 14, yeah, 14 and a quarter points. 65, 75, 4, 14 and a quarter. No, it's 13 and 3 quarters. 13 and 3 quarters, I think. Probably an easy way of doing this. 13 and a quarter, is that right? 13 and a quarter. I'll do. I just did it, didn't help me out. Because I thought it was more than that. Let me just get rid of this. So from there to there. 13 and 3 quarters, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's over 5 points. Happy days. So 13.75 points. Okay, so what I will say, folks, is if you do trade my funded futures, trade it on the NQ, you won't have a problem. I mean, that is a standard size bar, and I went for a 1-to-1 profit, and there was 13.5 points there. Even if you'd have gone for half of that down here, that would have more than worked. So push up, 2 attempts to go lower, strong push up. I actually got in on that one there because that for me was another indication we were going up. So that is plus 275. I'll start putting this on there because because I've got these 2 large charts now, you can't see this. I'll show you there quickly. There's a My Funded Futures, a live account there. 275. I'll put it on there because I've got 2 large screens now. You guys can't see the profit bit. So that's a good start on that chart. Yeah. So if I like My Funded Futures, I like what they've got to offer. I like the fact that it only costs you $65. That's it. That's for an evaluation, including you don't have to pay for a PA fee. That's it. It's a one-off fee. So I think that's brilliant. So if I want a $50,000 evaluation, it's going to cost me $70, or I can get an extra 5% off there, so that'll take it down. It's about $76, but then there's no PA fee. So I think it's brilliant. But they have a rule where you've got to go for a minimum of 5 points. So it ain't going to work if you trade in PATs or anything like that on the ES, but the NQ, it will. So apparently 2 points is the equivalent to 10 here. So if you go for the equivalent of 2 points and you trade whatever you trade on the NQ, as long as it's above 5, I think if it happens occasionally, it's not a problem. What's My Funded Futures? It's from, is it from Apex again? Not familiar. It's a prop firm that's been around for a while, but they've recently changed their rules. So easiest thing for me to do is just to open it up and show you. But they do have a rule. It's called they call it the scalping rule, where you've got to go for an average of more than 5 points, which is why really, unless you're swing trading more on the ES, you really want to be trading this on the NQ. That trade I went for 1-to-1 there. It's 13 3/4 points, so that's perfectly fine. So if I go for, let me have a look. Let's say I go for start chart. I'll tell you what, I'll show you. This is it. This is my main page here. So if I say go for start, hold on a minute, let me just have to make this a bit bigger. If I go for start challenge, there's 2. Now, don't ask me why it makes no sense. There's a starter and an expert. If you look at the starter, it's $80. There's no discounted price, so that is it. But if you use my code, I can get you 5% off, which makes it about $76. 3,000 profit, exactly the same as Apex. Now, 3 contracts, which I like. It saves you taking massive risks and blowing it quickly. There's a daily loss of $1,200, which I like. At least that way you get 2 cracks of the whip. Same max drawdown as Apex, but it's end of day drawdown, which I really like. I never thought it'd bother me that much, but you can go up $5,000, come down $5,000, take you out for break even. It's not going to affect your drawdown. Apex, you'll be out the game, and there is no activation fee. Scaling rules. So when you start your live account, you're only allowed to trade 1 contract for the first $1,000, and then after that it goes up to 2. Well, I think that's good. These measures I see here are sensible to help the trader. So that's what I like about this. But no activation fee. So that with 5% off $76 is all you pay. That gives you an evaluation. If you pass it, you get the live accounts. That's it, $76. With Apex, it costs you $175. So that's why I like it. I like the fact that if you look at, you need to just go in and have a look but if you look at the difference between the starter and the expert, it costs more money. You've got a bigger profit target. You've got less of a drawdown. So what's attractive about that? Okay, so you can trade more contracts, but why is it more attractive than that? So anyway, that's what it is, $80. I can get you 5% off that. It takes you down to $76, and that is all you pay. There's no activation fee for your live account, and that's kind of what I like about it. I think it's a steal, really. It's both target and time based. I would never sign up with a company that has this rule. Target and time based. Target time. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. GA, probably a combination. My plan is to start either to incorporate penguin style more. I think, and the good thing about penguin style more is it keeps you out of trades that are, if you reach target fast, that's also a problem for. Well, I did this evaluation yesterday and passed it in one day, and I'm on the live account today. So you can pass it in a day. The only thing is you've got a $1,200 loss. So if you happen to lose $1,200, you're blocked out of it until the following day. So only thing you are not allowed is microscope. Yeah. So it needs to really be on the NQ you want to trade it. That trade there I went for, obviously it was a lot more than 15 seconds. That went on for maybe a minute or so. But it's comfortably over 5 points. That's the beauty about this. Obviously, I think someone said yesterday 2 points on here is the equivalent to about 10 points. So if you're trading the NQ with it, then it's much better. So I wouldn't trade it on it unless you went for more points. Obviously, you know. But I like it. I like the fact that if you get 5 days of over $100, I think you can potentially make a withdrawal. So let's say you get $1,000, $200 a day for 5 days. You could withdraw half of that. Now, the only downside to that is as soon as you make a withdrawal, if you're not above your drawdown comes straight to $50,000. So if you wanted to just do, let's say, for instance, you wanted to make a bit of money to maybe get you some more accounts, you could get $200 a day for 5 days, withdraw $500 and buy a bunch more accounts. If you wanted to do something like that, I'd say, yeah, that's okay. I don't see an issue with that. But I wouldn't tend to get the money and just take it out at $1,000 generally, because, you know, obviously chances are the account's going to get blown then. But it's just nice that you have some control over doing that if you wanted to. So, you know, if you were struggling for money for PA, for evaluations, you could do it that way. But it's got a lot going for it, I think. I think my funded futures, if they tweak it a little bit, is going to become... my feeling is it's going to become the most popular one. I think Apex has been recently. They've had a little bit of a hit lately when they started sort of, you know, policing the rule. So they took a bit of a hit. But I think Apex are in the background making a few changes and updating things. And I don't think it's going to be long before we hear from the gaffer there about what they're going to do. But they did put out that thing where we could get votes, if you remember. So, channel up here. Now, that to me looks like an overshoot. So, this would be interesting. Yeah, so I don't get me wrong. If I see an absolute perfect setup for Pats, I'd be daft not to take it. I think if you learn, you know, if you pick up your skills, but I am focusing a lot more on on a penguin. I think the guy's really good at what he does. But nothing changes. Same chart, same everything. Nothing will change. But as I say, if I see an absolute sitter, you know, perfect triple test. Actually, that wasn't a bad triple test there, I don't think. Leg down, 1, 2, 3 attempts high. I like the way it's triggered that. It's triggered the fail second entry short, and then down it comes. So if I see something like that, I will take it. But so overshoot here, overshoots on here. So let's have a look. There is a small break there, but I think that's probably irrelevant anyway. If it's at an overshoot, it may come back down anyway, but we'll just keep an eye on that. Definitely an overshoot on the NQ. I think. Maybe not, actually. Let me have a look. I put that there. Yeah, it still is a little bit, I think. Yeah, see, I think that was a triple test as well. 1 attempt, 2 attempts there. Bounce, bounce, bounce. There was 2 attempts to go lower and a strong push up, and then it came back and bounced off again. So I actually jumped in there. Clearly worked. So if you are interested, there is a link in the description down below my videos for My Funded Futures. If you use that link, I do get a commission from it. It doesn't cost you guys anything extra. And then if you use UKFT, you'll see somewhere which says code. If you use that, it'll knock it down to 76, I think. But that is all you pay. There's no PA. Yeah, look at that. I missed that. There's no PA fee. That's it, all in. I did start a Facebook group a couple of days ago. I mentioned it yesterday. I don't know if there's any new guys and any in that weren't there yesterday. I'll just drop a link in. That way, any discount I'll put in there, and also, if you got any beefs or any issues, or you want to talk about anything, you can, as long as it's friendly, you're not swearing like mad. If you've got beefs with any prop firms, you can put it down. I haven't got a problem with that. I think we should have the right to say something, because so many times at some of these websites, you say something and it gets blocked. There's nothing that infuriates me more than when I say something in a polite and friendly manner and it gets blocked. Share. Copy link. I'll put it down here. But yeah, if you got any beefs or whatever, as long as it's friendly, you're not threatening to kill anyone or anything like that, you can say whatever you want. We do need a place where people can say stuff, because as I say, there's nothing worse than saying something and then someone blocking you. It turns into more of a living dictatorship there, doesn't it? Okay, let's have a look. So push down. Yum. There we go. There you go. You're very welcome. We had our first birthday yesterday as well. Speedy. 30, what did you say, 32? Just a baby. Say, channel out on this NQ. Definitely an overshoot, I'd say. A lot of times it does that, doesn't it? As an overshoot, it comes back, goes up, hits the top, and then drops quickly. So are we going to get a steeper correction, or is this going to come down? Did you hear about Sampora trading? Shot by the police in... What? He killed who? GF. Who's that? And got shot by the police in Malta. No, I didn't hear that. Who's GF, Mark? He shot his girlfriend. Bloody hell. I tell you, trading's frustrating. I don't know if I go that far, though. Good grief. Bloody hell, what is this world coming to? Put the link in Marco Facebook group. Yeah, okay. I'll ask him first, see if he minds. It's polite, isn't it? I don't think he will. I was just going to take a photo of that. Look at that. How are you, Karina, anyway? You okay? They say he was scamming somehow. There's kind of a failure there. I like the way it's triggered at the bottom, but the trouble is, because we've had that channel, there is a possibility this could make another attempt to go higher. In fact, that's a better failure there, I think. It's hard to know whether that's an overshoot or that's a break. It's very subtle. So I think it would be a bit dangerous to short that just at the moment, because this thing looks like it's attempting to push up. I could adjust that ever so slightly and it works just as fine. I would say it's maybe nothing terrible, but there is an overshoot. Now that looks a little bit better. It tried to push up and didn't. That's probably just an overshoot, I think. That's better. We bounced a few times here. Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's a break. I don't think it fits any worse, but that to me is an overshoot. And after an overshoot, you know, we could just get a deeper correction. Possible second entry short there. Lake, how you doing? There you go, my friend. So channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I'd like to see this push off, stop that out if there's any. I hope there's no one in there. And channel down, one attempt higher, second attempt higher, and then failed. Let's have a look. I do like the way it's bouncing off the underside. Channel down, one attempt to go higher. Probably need a decent push up now for a second attempt, and if that fails, that will come down from the leg, I like to think anyway. I want that to get above there, stop out anyone in there, and then come down for one attempt, two attempts, whether it will or not. It looks like it's holding, which is not a bad thing. Trouble is we're above the EMA now on the NQ. So we've had 1 bounce, 2 bounce, so this could actually go up now. So wanted this really to break above this and then look bearish. So leg and a leg, let's see what happens here. So 2 attempts to go lower. Let's see if this pushes up. Leg a leg. I actually kind of like this, the way this is developing. They say when you get a nice correction, often that's the center of the picture, so this may go up for another leg. We know the thing's bullish at the moment. So 2 clear legs down. So overshoot, steeper correction. Now it may come right down to here and it might be game over, but there is a possibility leg and leg and then a push up. I am late today, but at least I can see the first entries. See that first entries. Do work nicely. How you doing, bud? So I'd say now this has come down too far to push up. So look at it go. See, I suppose once it breaks this, if it is a range, it's going to head for the bottom. Interesting. So we've got this big move up, 2 attempts to go lower. Hopefully, if this fails, I'd expect this to head for the hills. Interesting. Okay, let's have a look at this. There kind of is a higher low there, but it's a bit early, I think. I like the fact that that broke below everything there. That's interesting. Yeah, I watched a bit of him yesterday, actually. Did you check out Take Profit? Take Profit. I can't remember now. Let's have a look. I looked at two of them. Take Profit. Look. No, I didn't. It was Top Step. Got up there now. I got up here now. There was two I looked at last night. It was Top Step. I thought it was Top Step we talked about. I can't remember. My head's in the clouds at the moment. I will take a photo. Oh, sorry. I'll take a photo of it now so I don't forget. It was Take Profit and something else. Fast Track Trading I looked at. I thought it was Take Profit we talked about. Top Step. It was Top Step and Fast Track. Fast Track's the one where you don't have you go straight onto a live account, but it's pricey. I think for the 25,000 it's 160. For the 50,000 it's 400 odd. I will definitely look later. I've just taken a photo of it now. For sure. Yeah, I came back last night. I had a funny, I just had Top Step in my head. And then I watched a few videos and someone mentioned Fast Track. But yeah, it's expensive, Fast Track. I think if you're already an established trader, it's having 49. Are there really? I didn't pay too much attention. I started looking at it when I thought for the 50,000 it was $400 odd. I just kind of drifted off then. But yeah, it's pricey, I got to say. Yeah, I mean it's better for 49. Yeah, someone else has just said that. John's just said that. Director funded. Interesting. Is that that must be for the $25,000 one, John, isn't it? So channel break, new low. One rule, 20. Yeah, that was another thing I noticed. 20%. That's a bit low, isn't it? 20%. That's really low, that is. So one of your days can't be 25. Yeah, that's hard, that is. The thing I like about My Funny Futures, it's 40%. Apex is 30. Fast Track's 20, but that's what I like about... I think it's got to be 30, surely. Why? That's the thing about these prop firms. They're never quite perfect. They're not far off, but they're never quite perfect. There's always something, isn't there? Now, Apex have been really quiet lately. Now, we know we had that vote, didn't we? Because they was changing. The thing is, if you've got to compete in this space now, and you've got people like My Funded Traders, My Funded Futures coming out with this, no fees for the evaluation, for the PA account, and loads of others, Apex and Top Step. Yeah, I looked at Top Step last night. There was something about Top Step that I can't remember what it was now. Small price to pay for no rule, I think. Yeah. The thing is, it is a personal thing. Is it? Some people prefer. I started Earn to Trade was the very first one I did, and I think I paid about $175. That was for the evaluation. And then it was UProfit, I think. I did about, 6 or 8 evaluations there before I eventually came over. A trader buddy of mine, Marlon, mentioned about Apex. I think Apex need to revamp. I think that's probably what they're doing, in all fairness, which is why they've gone quiet. Obviously, you've got to keep up with these other funded companies coming out because, word spreads quickly in this business. Everybody talks. And once, word gets out, there's this new prop firm or these new rules in town and people start jumping on the bandwagon, you can lose customers pretty quickly. So take profit is good. Pay, not rules, almost as good. Yeah. So I may have a go at one of those. But I will definitely look at. It's on my phone. I will definitely look at. Take profit trader. Take profit, right? That's the one I got to do tonight. Okay, so looking on this NQ now, we've had a nice bounce here. Now we've had a channel with a break. 2 pushes down to a new low and another bounce. So this may go up now. Let's have a look. So what's going on with Apex? Why have you switched? Nothing, no reason. I've just heard about My Funded Futures. They got a good deal. No, I've still got Apex accounts. Apex, I'm thinking my first choice. The trouble is, if you just keep all your eggs in one basket, if anything ever happens to one, you're kind of screwed. I like to have at least experienced, trying a couple of others first. So if anything ever does happen to one of these prop firms, I can just jump straight over. It's good, rather than wait and do all the sort of recce when it's too late. But no, absolutely no issues with Apex at all. The thing I like about My Funded Futures is the end of day drawdown, which gives you a chance to get a big move if you want. If you take a trade here, you put it to break even, it can go up $10,000, come down $10,000, take you out for break even, and your drawdown won't have moved come the following morning. Whereas if that happened with Apex, you'd be out. And the fact that it's $76 and that's for the evaluation and the lifetime PA fee, I think it's an absolute steal. That's by far the cheapest. You can't take a 50,000 evaluation and have a 50,000 fully funded paid lifetime account for $76 anywhere. That's a steal, that is, which is why I think they're starting to become popular. But what I will say is if you do pick up one of those, they don't like micro scalping, so it's better to trade on the NQ. I think they really want 5 points or more. Now, I took that trade 1-to-1, which is not a big move, and that was 13 3/4, so that's fine. So if you do go on to My Funded Futures, excuse me, definitely make sure you trade it on here. Unless you go for a big move, I tend to assume that everybody trades Pats, but they don't, do they? So this is interesting. Channel down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go on a big drop, and a big drop here as well. That's interesting. Trouble is, even if I was going to do, I wouldn't want to go short there, just in case. I'm not saying it ain't going to work, but when you have a bounce and we top, bottom, so it's a tough one here. We could go back in. This could be a breakout that fails. When that thing come rocketing down, I thought this thing could have another leg. It still may do. I like the way it went up to the EMA. We had little triple top there, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 little tops there. So this may come down for another leg. But there's also a little double bottom here, so this for me is a no trade zone. Okay, excuse me just for a quick minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Channel with a break. New low. Still low volume, isn't it? But at least it's moving. So what's going to happen is this thing going to launch, or is it going to rocket up? There's going to be some shorts in there for certain. So this thing could just launch. It could go either way, really. Let's see if it does. There'll be shorts there and shorts there. I have a feeling this thing's going to just rock it up. Interesting. So 2 legs down, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher. This could be a penguin trade to go short. But I'm staying out of this at the moment. You could even say 1, 2, 3 triple test. 1, 2, 3. It's interesting.
Order submitted.
Tough one this is.
Order submitted.
This is a triple test. I'm just going to stick mine below there. 1, 2 attempts to go higher.
Stop filled.
It's probably going to work actually, but it bounced off that same part. So 1, 2, 3, 4 bounce. I think it's likely going to go down, but channel break, new low. 2 attempts to go higher. Yes. The trouble is, I had this is going to drop. I had 10 of them. But I'd done that much damage to them. There was between $200 and $300 on each of them. So I did something tactical to try and keep some of them. So I went for 7.5 points on each of them, profit, shit or bust, basically. And I managed to keep 3 of them. But I accidentally traded one of them. I thought I hadn't traded it, and I had. So I've only got 2 of them, but at least now there's over $1,000 in them both. And I've got a My Funded Futures account at the moment. So it was like a, what's the word? I was just trying to salvage what I could. There's a big iceberg at the lows, but it's been eaten, is it? Yeah, I kind of like that for a triple test. 1, 2, 3. It is a triple test. Came down 1, 2, 3, and it's probably going to, well, you've certainly got a scalp out of it. You'd have got, yeah, you'd have squeezed 2 points out of it. I probably wouldn't have waited there, so I think it'll work. But it's now we've pushed back up a couple of times. Mind you, there's yeah, I'm just staying out of this at the moment. See that we have taken almost the same trade on the NQ. Did we really? Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. It was that one I saw, the 2 legs back and the push up. And I kind of watched it, and when it came down and gave us that one, I think you could say you're taking that even on a limit order or something, and it did work. Yeah, we'd had a leg up, and it was 2 attempts, and it was sitting nice on there, wasn't it? So you could say 2 legs back in a push-up. You could have taken it there, I think, couldn't you, or there? But I got in just a little bit higher. It was just like an extra safe barrier before that launched off. Oh, good on you, mate. Good on you. Martin here trades penguin style as well. Each converted over a while ago. So he has a YouTube channel as well, which I'll show you. Are you live, mate, or were you? Where are you? Let me open up my set a little bit. Where are you? There you are. Okay, that's Martin's YouTube channel there. So you can see he's clearly doing okay. So he trades penguin style as well, same as me now. But yeah, 15 funded accounts. So he's clearly doing okay. So good on you, Martin. Make 13 points. What did I make? 13.75. Did you buy? Took me a while to work out how much I'd done, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, I've got a My Funded Futures account, and I was all kind of excited about them. And then somebody told me they don't allow micro scalping under 5 points, which doesn't really matter with the NQ. Obviously, I went for a 1-to-1. It wasn't a huge trade, but it was certainly way more than 5 points. So it did work that. I thought it may do. It does look like we're working down there. But yeah, it's a lot easier. So if you are going to trade with My Funded Future account, and don't get me wrong, they're great. $76 for an evaluation and a lifetime fee if you pass. I think it's an absolute steal. But you've really got to trade it on, well, I say that. That's assuming you trade PATs. But you really have got to trade it on the NQ. Obviously, 2 points on the NQ, I believe, is close to 10 points on 10 points on the NQ. So that's perfectly fine. That's more than enough anyway. So are you done? Are you, Martin? Now, or are you still going? Are you? I didn't look, actually. I popped your channel up, but I didn't see whether you was live at the moment. So this is interesting. So we had that big push up. We kind of had a break there and a new high, and now we got a spike and channel. I looked at this one here, actually, a leg up, but then we'd come down a couple of times. But then we had that big push down. I think it's too late to take that, really, isn't it? You're not going to get a 1-to-1 out before the bottoms, are you? So So 2 legs up, bearish bar there, clearly worked. But when it started bouncing here, I just wanted to get out of it. As well as coming down, it is going sideways, see, so you don't know whether it's going to take that out. Hello, Sam. How you doing, bud? We're all good, I think. Surviving. What's going on here? We're all good, mate. All good. Ticking over. All tickety-boo. Are you at work? Are you at work, are you? Or are you trading today? Trade this afternoon, are you? Good on you, mate. Not sure what's going on here. So for funded futures, when can you withdraw? After 5 days. Okay, so it sounds good, and it is, but there is a bit of a clause, so let me explain it to you. you've got to do a minimum of $100 per day for 5 days to get a withdrawal. Now, sounds great, doesn't it? But you can only withdraw half your amount. So if you get to $500, theoretically, you can withdraw $250. The only trouble is, so it's like Top Steps. Yeah, I'm not sure whether Top Steps does that, so I can't comment really, mate. But the only downside to it is as soon as you make a withdrawal, your drawdown jumps forward to $50,000. So basically zero. So then if you take half of that, you've only got $250 left, which isn't a lot. Now, if you want to get to $1,500 or $2,000 and take 1,000, and you want to buy some more accounts and you just want to sacrifice one for the money, that's fine. But what I like about it is it's a total of $76 for the evaluation, and if you pass it, that includes the lifetime PA fee as well. So it's a one-off payment of $76. So if you wanted the same package on Apex at the moment, it's 71%. It's about $45 and then $140 for the PA. So it's $185 with Apex, $76 with My Fun of Futures. And I like My Fun of Futures as well. If you trade Apex on Rhythmic, you could do My Fun of Futures on Tradeovate. I'll show you. So my account's here. So there you go. So I'm trading these at the same time. So there's my funded futures one. And there's me two Apex ones. So if I click on connections, you can see I've got that connected with Rhythmic and that connected to My Fun of Futures. So that one's on Rhythmic and that one's on Tradeovate. So I can trade them at the same time with the same trade copier. So it's got that benefit as well. So, but when you sign up, click Ninja Trader, but then you go over and open up an account with Tradeovate, sign into Tradeovate, and that's it. You're up and running. So I think I'd say they're close to being perfect. The only slight disadvantage I'd say is with you need to be going for 5 points or more. They don't like micro scalping, which means really you're forced to trade on the NQ. So if you can scalp on the NQ, well, I took a 1-to-1 trade there and that was 13 points. So I believe 2 points on the ES is about 10 points on the NQ. So if you do sign up to them, you really want to be trading the NQ unless you go in for more than 5 points on here, which depending on how you trade, you may not. I may do, but you know, if you do want to give them go, I've got a link in the description at the bottom. I get a commission for that. It doesn't cost you anything more. And if you use UKFT when you sign up, that will give you an extra 5% off, which takes it down from 82. But make sure you select. I'll show you. Make sure you select when you sign up. Start challenge. I'll show you. Make sure you select the starter one. $80. Obviously, my code will knock it down to 76. So it's basically the same. 3,000 profit. There's a daily loss limit of 1,200. That'll block you out for the day, but then you're back in on the following day. Drawdown is the same amount, but it's end of day, so it doesn't matter. If you want to go for bigger points and come down and out for break even, it won't affect you. So I really like them, and you can withdraw from day 5. Not that you want to, but you can. So it's just nice to have that choice, really. If you want to, you know, get to $1,000, you can only withdraw half of it. Take 500 and invest in a few more of them. Then you know you can do. I use Tradeovate with Apex. Could I still use Tradeovate with My Fun of Futures? That I'm not sure, mate. I would have said so, yeah. I'm not sure. You'll have to check that one out. I don't really want to say yeah because I don't really know. I've only traded with Tradeovate. I would say so because unlike Rhythmic, you've got to log in with Rhythmic, but with With a trade of 8, you don't. So if I got my trade of 8 here, and I got to say it's super quick. So if I click connections and disconnect that, as soon as I connect back up, boom. It's
Order.
quick. There we go. I'm back up. So I can trade rhythmic and at the same time, but I would have thought you would have been able to, but just check. You can connect as many trade of 8. There you go. You can. There you go. But if you are interested, you want to give it a go, I have a link in the description. As I say, I get a commission, as you guys know anyway, but it doesn't cost you any more. It just helps me out. You're welcome, mate. And make sure you, where it says code, put in, it's a straightforward fixed $80 anyway, but if you put my code in UKFT, when you follow the link, just that'll knock it down to 76. So it's a little bit extra, but that's it. You don't pay for the PA. That's free, or in with a price, whichever way you want to look at it. But I like them. But be prepared to just keep in mind you've got to trade for 5 points. I mean, obviously, if you get out of a trade at break even, people do that. That's fine. But on the NQ, that's fine. You know, if you were going for 2 points on here, the equivalent on the NQ is 10. So that's ample. Brilliant. Good on you, mate. But I think it's nice to be able to at least try a few others, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. There's lots of these prop firms popping out, and then there was one of them which went bust, wasn't there? So I just think it's useful to at least experience others. So if anything ever does happen, you could just go, okay, well, you know you know what you got to do to sign straight up. One thing I like about Apex is, I mean, if you sign up within literally a few minutes, you're trading. And even on a live account as well, as soon as you get a PA account, as soon as you literally put your details, you go into signatures, literally within 5 minutes, you're up and running. Does Penguin run a course? He doesn't, mate. He doesn't. He has got a Discord, but he's not really in it, to be fair, mate. But watch some of his videos, mate. It's actually not as different from. It's not far away from Pat's. It really isn't. Look at his videos on YouTube, and you'll understand what he does, as opposed to Pat's. See, Pat's, we go for instance, technically that's a second. You'd say it may be a second entry short, 2 legs up, but he waits, instead of like a little move, he waits for 2 actual proper attempts. And then he waits for a move through that EMA indicating we're going down, whereas we might take a trade here, it may trigger you and stop you out. He waits for a move through that EMA indicating that we are going lower. But watch his videos, mate. It's not difficult to grasp what he's doing. But I like the fact that you get that little bit more time to think and breathe. And I would say you definitely get trapped less, that's for certain. But Martin here, I spoke to him a while ago, described him as a borderline genius. I agree with that comment. You listen to him talk about them charts. He reads them so well, he really does. Yeah, it's in between more of an intraday trade. See, I would consider a swing more in for the day and out, or maybe over a couple of days. But I would say this is a large scalp. I would say some of his trades maybe for a couple of 3 minutes. But sometimes I just find Pat's just so fast. You've got to make quick decisions. And the trouble is, the faster you got to think, the more those emotions there. And it's very easy, I do it myself, to think, oh, I've got to trade, and you jump before you think. And sometimes I think my personality is maybe not best suited that. Sometimes I'm a little bit wired, and I tend to jump before I think sometimes. But I like the idea of the Penguin style. It just gives you a little bit time, moves are more clear. So yeah, I like that. So what is going on here? But if you listen to his video from about 3 days ago, he said he started with Pat's, but he just found he couldn't do it. And that's when he sort of came up with this style. But he's very good at it. You talk about, I mean, he rips those charts to pieces. He really does. Yeah, someone said earlier, bud. I'll have a look. In fact, didn't he say something about going for 1-to-1 if you were... But I agree with that. Going for 1 point, in my opinion, and I think majority of people will agree with you now, it's not worth it unless you're a good trader and you can afford to go for runners. Even people like Daniel and Marco now go for 6 ticks. It's an absolute no-brainer. You'll find, I mean, if it's a crap trade, it's not going to go for 3 ticks, is it? So, you know, it won't go for a point if it's a crap trade, but if it's a good solid setup, they really move. Has Mac posted his live trades out for yesterday? Apparently he has. Not only more time, but also, but yeah, absolutely 1-to-1. There's nothing like going for 1-to-1. Sometimes, I mean, the ATR is not too bad, but if you're going for 2 points, a few days ago, you were risking about, yeah, it's not unusual to risk $350 to $400. It's not unusual. Trouble is then you've got to win 2 trades just to get back to where you were. You know, whereas with Penguin, it's a straightforward 1-to-1. In fact, I think I remember him talking about going for a lot more, going for 1-to-2 at some point. But I like 1-to-1. You know, you guys know I'm quite indecisive, and I just worry about, I want to try and get it right. So I've spent a lot of time, do I go for 6 ticks? Do I go for 10 ticks? Do I go for 3 points? I can't seem to make my mind up what I think the best value, and I like the fact that it's a straightforward 1-to-1, and it's taken that choice out of my mind, so it's kind of done for me. So I'm not even a fan of that, to be honest with you. I think if there is a channel, we've had a break and a new low anyway, so this, well, I don't know why I'm waffling a bit there. But when you watch some of his videos and listen to him, it's almost like he's found a gold mine because it's so clear. There are more advanced trades where we have a break, it pushes up and you know, sometimes I'll see he'll have a break and a couple of pushes up and he takes, some of them I think are a bit confusing, but that push down, 2 clear attempts, push through that EMA, it's so clear. But I've spoken to Martin about the Penguin guy, I think on and off over the last probably year or so. I've looked at it quite a lot because it just makes so much sense. But the trouble is, when you've been trading Pats for like 3 odd years, it's very hard to only see. I mean, don't get me wrong, if I see an absolute sitter, we had one a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? We had a channel up, we had 2 perfect legs and then a higher low. It was an absolute beauty. I think every man and his dog took it. If I see one of those, I'll be daft not to take it, of course, but I'm not sure about this at the moment. There's probably some channel there, but I'm guessing we've had a break. Yeah, I wish he would live trade, actually. It's not for everyone. I'm pretty sure he's been asked, Penguin. I'd watch it myself if he did. Uh, mm. So channel break new high. This thing looks like it's coming down some more. So maybe there is something larger there. We could do that. My only slight issue with that is all this vacant area. I mean, you could say it's a two-tier channel. We push down, we work in this bottom two, we push up. So, strange as it's saying, it actually doesn't look that bad, does it? Hmm. Uh, so we had that big push up there, didn't we? Then we had two legs up and then a big drop. We had that big push up there, didn't we? We had two legs up and a big drop. So how far could we come back? So we've got a channel with a break and a new high. It's too far for me, really, that is. Too far from that EMA, too far close to that. This is a 2-tiered channel. Working this bottom tier, we could bounce here and push up. Yeah, someone else has just popped that on there, so I can't see how it's not, to be fair. I don't usually like channels where they got this bit, but it does look, it is working like a 2-tiered channel. It's clearly working off that center line. And then we've had a push up, bounce there and come down. So channel break new high. There is like a failure there, but it's a bit congested. I'm not a fan of that. That's the type of trade that can stop you out there. It's clearly a little bit sideways here. There's a little letterbox type shape here, so that for me will be a bit risky going short there. I mean, this does look like it's working down, so it may work anyway, but that's just a bit risky there. There's easy pickings there and there, I think. See, channel break new high. One attempt to go lower, second attempt to go lower, and then up. I mean, this to me looks like it could shoot up, but look at that. It's pushed. One tick above there was a load of sell orders above there. Now it's pushed down, so I think there's a good chance this is going to come down. Leg and a leg. I like the way it's just ticked that out. 1, 2, 3. You could even say it's a triple test, but that's dangerous to me. So this looks like it's going to pick off any liquidity that's there. And it has done now, hasn't it? So it's picked off any stops that may be there. Let's see what it does now. That's interesting. There's a failure. Oh, no, it's all right. I thought that had triggered above there. Created a long failure there, but it hasn't. This is interesting. It could rock it up. We're going to leg up the break new high, leg down, sideways. We've been making attempts to push higher, but every time we get up here, it's rejected. So I think there's a good chance we're going to get another leg down here, leg and a leg. High. It's definitely a bearish feel at the moment anyway. That one pushed up and took any stops out that may be there, but you just never know, do you? But I think we've got a leg down sideways. It's kind of like a bear flag. It is like a bear flag, so I think there's a good chance that's going to come down. So let's have a look. This may go up. See what happens here. It's actually a possible failure here. Second entry short failure. It's a bit congested, but leg and a leg. It's a bit large, but I actually don't think it's a bad
Order
trade.
submitted.
Trouble is, it's bloody massive. It's just too
Order
congested
cancelled.
there. And it's a large bar as well. I think there's a good chance it's going to come down for a leg, break these lows, but it's clearly congested. If I took that and it stopped me out, I'll be kicking myself. It hasn't finished right anyway, in all fairness. Blue collar tech, how you doing, mate? Two stacked up, yeah, clearly. And here as well. It could go either or. I mean, at the moment, I'd say the chances are it's got more chance of coming down purely because of this, but we could have a leg and a leg. It's just one of those things. That's the trouble when it does go sideways. Sometimes you got your ideas where you think it might go, but it could be the toss of a dice whether it goes up or down. So channel break new high, that's played up. Channel break new low, that's played out. But at the moment, it has got more of a bearish feel, isn't it? So, I mean, every time we get a bear bar, you think, well, that's it. But it's made multiple attempts to go higher. And not only that, it's rejected off here. So I think, personally, if that ends up bearish, that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. That's if it ends up bearish. Still just too risky to take, though, I think. Yeah, it's kind of more neutral on the NQ. I don't think it's going to finish much better on the ES either, is it? Not brilliant. Got to say, trading less accounts is so much more relaxing. I often wondered if I tried to jump up a bit too quick. This feels so much more relaxing, and it's not scaring me getting into trades either. What I think I should do is wait till I get a payment out of these few, and then just add maybe a few more to it at a time. I might build up slowly. Just in case nobody saw earlier, I did start a Facebook group the other day. I'll just pop a link on it. I did earlier. There's a few more in now. If you've got beefs, there's discounts in there and all sorts of stuff. But if you've got any beefs with any prop firms or any issues or whatever, this one isn't going to stop you from saying what you want to say. You can say whatever you like, as long as it's friendly. I've put so many comments in some of these Facebook groups over the past year or so, and sometimes they just don't even get published, and there's so much, it drives me around the twist. I kind of like to have me say, I think we should, as long as you're friendly, we should be able to say our bit. We're not living in 1940s bloody Germany here. My apologies if you got any Germans in. Oh. Okay, is this going to drop now? Is it? I think it will come down. We've got a leg down and sideways. It's clearly pushing up and struggling, and it's come up to this area again and struggling again. Whether it'll have another go or not, I don't know. But I think personally it more likely come down. Well, for obvious reasons. But look at this thing. How weird does this look? It's proper wiki. Volume is definitely low today, no argument there. Okay, so that took any liquidity. Is this going up? It looks like it may. So this may have a failed breakout. This is turning bearish after trapping that. That's so tempting, isn't it? Lower high. Trouble is, if it triggers me and stops me out, I'll be kicking myself. Surely this is going to be the one that continues down. This is interesting. We've broke above here, and now we've got a bearish bar. Yeah, it's got to be surely, isn't it? Maybe not. Didn't trigger anyway. Okay, folks, I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break. I'm getting a bit dry. So let's just pop that there. So I will be about 3 to 5 minutes and I'll be back. What is going? This is unusual. Prices are above the EMA, looking like they might push up, and they're struggling to get above it here. I'm not looking to go short at the moment. That one never triggered, but it came back up. This is a no trade zone at the moment. I mean, there's nothing you can really do there. I wonder. This may be a bit rangy. Let's have a look. So we've got 2 legs down. So a little bit of sideways, leg and a leg, push back up, possibly some sideways, hard to say. Just noticed the 2000 tick chart NQ is very clean. Is it really? I'm on the 1000. I am, purely because the 1001 has a less ATR. It's 1219. Sorry, 1219 on the 1000. But it would be double that. I know, not quite double it, but let's have a look. Yeah. This does look like it's pushing up, then this one probably going to as well. Yeah, trouble is it does make that risk a bit higher. So, yeah, it's more or less the same, but so this is interesting. So we've got a leg and a leg, and then I think down some more, which would give us a break of this, looking for a new low. So that is a breakout. Let's have a look, see what happens here. Depending on what you've seen here anyway, I think there's a good chance we're going to come down and make a new low. So also, let's say, for instance, that is a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, penguin sort of style. I want this to fail, push below that EMA quite strongly, and that would correspond with this. Channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure. So this looks like it's coming down, and so does this. So leg and a leg doesn't necessarily have to be a measured leg, it's close enough. So channel down, two attempts to go higher. Let's see if this fails below that EMA. If it's going to continue up, it should theoretically not close below there, below that EMA. So let's see. So, I mean, even if you've got this channel, something like this or something like this, we still haven't made a new low anyway. So, regardless of whether you've got it down to here or including this, we've got a break. And so I think at the moment, I'm still waiting for a new low. May not happen, of course. A leg and a leg, couple of retests, it could rock it up. Channel down, two attempts to go higher. If this thing fails strongly, I'd say then it's coming down. This will be sort of more of an obvious penguin style trade with a leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. If it's above that EMA, you'd expect it to fail. Well, if it does fail, push strongly below that EMA and then catch it when it closes somewhere down here for a trip down south on a 1-to-1. The reason I think it may fail is because this is still looking to me like we may test these lows. It's hard to say really at the moment. I mean, there is a possibility this isn't a break and this is going to come down for another leg. Now, leg down, leg down, leg down, leg down. I actually think this is going to come down for another leg. That's really interesting. We're trying, but when we get down, it turns. So if we get that good push, once we get below here, then I think this is coming down for another leg. I want this to fail. I mean, we've pushed up, struggled there, come back, struggled again. So this is struggling to get up. This to me looking like it's poised for another leg down. So the combination of what I'm seeing here is telling me it's more likely to continue down. If this starts to push, and so does this, well, that's looking interesting. So
Order submitted.
plenty of room to the low, so I'm not going to jump in premature. Slowing down now. So is this. There we go.
Order filled.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Christ almighty, it's more risk than I wanted. Holy schmoly. I'm only on one contract. Holy hell. Wow, $700. That's a lot. I got in lower than I should have done, really, but there we go. Oh, well. But 2 legs up, clear push down. I think there's a good chance it's going to come down and test those lows. Certainly in a safe place up there anyway, I think, anyway. This looks to me like it's going to make a second leg down anyway, so I'm kind of okay with it. But for one contract, that's a lot, that is. That's a lot of risk. I know sometimes his bars are quite big, but that's a lot of risk, that is. Yeah, exactly. Once it gets so far down, I'll bring that down. But if you think about it, leg down, 2 attempts to go higher, strong push through that EMA. I think there's a good chance this is going to come down. Yeah, they are. Leg down with a pullback. I still think there's a good chance this is coming down. I just need to mitigate this risk in the future for some reason or somehow. Yeah, it is a bit, isn't it? It's all right. I'm not used to trading this style, see, so But I'm okay. I think there's a good chance this is coming down. I'm out comfortably before these lows. This is looking like it's coming down for another leg. We've made multiple attempts to push up and we've struggled and had a drop. So I think I think we're okay. Perhaps what I should have done is put a limit order back here, just below that EMA. Yeah. So that risk would have been a bit less. It's okay, it is what it is. If I'd have got in on a limit order there, that would have been a little bit less. That would maybe be about 500. Let's see, we'll see anyway. Let's see what happens here. And then how you look at this though, we've actually made a new low there, but this, to me, is just giving me the impression this is coming down. We'll see. I could be right, I could be wrong. Sometimes with this penguin stuff, you do have bigger swings, bigger pullbacks. But at least it's got plenty of room. It'll either work or it won't. I do like the fact that we've had this channel down, 2 attempts to go high and a strong push for the EMA. This is more of a pullback than I thought we'd get, but it's hard to say, isn't it? Martin did say it took him a while to convert over, but that's fine. I got no issues with that. I'm tempted to put my stop there. If it does push up there, I think it's probably going to hit my highs. How much less of a risk is it? 480. Or I don't know whether to just leave the damn thing. If I put it there, and there's something like this, I don't know. It may come up a bit higher. It's one of those things, isn't it? Correction and then down. I think I'll just leave it where it is. It's the only way I'm going to learn. I can't be messing around with it. High low may trap some traders and then down. We'll see anyway. This does look like it's struggling to get lower. We'll see. Yeah, I should have had a go at that on the limit order, if anything. See if we trigger that. Possible second entry short here. Trapping the longs of that higher low. That's interesting. Big bearish bar here.
Order submitted.
Mind you, it's triggered that bearish bar. I'm pushing up.
Order cancelled.
Okay, that's going to take me out, isn't it?
Stop filled.
Okay, that's fine. I've got to learn. I'll remove that. Let's have a look. You sure that's that? Alpine takes, was it? Yeah, see, I'm seeing two legs. What I should have probably done is taken into consideration it's struggling to get below here, and when it comes and has another bounce, then it's just one of those things. It did push really strongly below the EMA, indicating we're coming down, didn't it? But it happens. He's in one now. Is it? Is in a long? Is he or something? Hmm. That's got to be something like that. In fact, let's just get rid of it for now. So two legs down to a new low. So It's a bit hard to read, isn't it, some of this? There is a failure there, isn't there? Second entry short. However, you got the channel there. We got a break to push it down to another. We had a double bounce there, so I think there's a good chance this is going to go up. Yeah, you too, Jan. Take it easy, buddy. So a little push up and then a quick drop. If you took that ILO there or whatever it was, probably just stopped you out. So it's frustrating, really. It took me out for a few ticks and ended up coming down anyway. Well, it hasn't come to the bottom, like, but. It's hard to say, isn't it? God, I feel bored today. It's slow, innit? In fact, I've been going 2.25 hours. In fact, I'm going to finish early today, folks. I'm finding it bored and just choppy today and a bit hard to read. So I'm going to leave it there. So best of luck if you carry on trading, hopefully. It'll speed up soon, but it's so slow, isn't it? So there you go. Right, have a great day. Best of luck if you get a setup. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will be back tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Bye for now.